If you're interested in learning Persian or simply linguistic nuances appeal to you, watch the video. Otherwise, goodbye. Hello everyone and welcome. Nargis here. I hope everything's alright with you guys. Many of you ask me why I have been so late on the channel. Thank you so much for your kindness and care. I had quite a rough time, as you might have guessed, with another bout of anxiety and a few other problems. Just forget about me. The Persian alphabet. Many of you had asked me to make a video on this, so here we go. How long has the current Persian alphabet been in use? Well, since the 7th century following the Muslim conquest of Persia and the fall of Sasanian Empire, which means the current Persian alphabet is derived from Arabic. It's a right-to-left writing system, which I remember aroused interesting reactions in foreign tourists who called it magic, which I think applies to any language because each and every language is unique in their own way and with their unique features. And do I look like an Ayatollah in this? Sorry, and God forbid. It's cursive, and how each letter looks like would depend on where in the word, not in the world, where in the word it appears, and most letters are connected to each other. With all that said, here's part 1 of the Persian alphabet. It's called Alef, Alef, and could sound A, or A, or E, or O, depending on the context. I focus mostly on the A sound here. Examples would be ab, which means water, chop, not chop, chop, which means print, kitab, which means book and is originally Arabic, and pa, not paw, pa, which could mean foot or leg or the entire package. It's called bear and sounds like bee, but examples would be barf, barf, which means snow, tab, but not like open the tab. It's tab, which means fever or temperature, like tab daram, which means I've got a fever. Ab, again, means water, and kitab, as I said, which is book. Pe, which sounds p, exactly like p. Examples would include pari, pari, which actually means fairy, but it could be a name for girls. Chap, chap, not like he's a good chap or something. Chap means left. For example, dast chapam, which means my left hand. Chop, which, as I said previously, means print. I try to repeat the words so that you can learn them better. So, chop means print, and tapesh, which means palpitation. This one is a beautiful word, tapesh. Te, which sounds t, like tab, as I said, fever, tab, swing, tapesh, palpitation, and kitab, book. It's called se and is pronounced like S. This one is a particularly Arabic letter, in fact, but they pronounce it something like the th, English th, as in three. Th. But that distinction is gone in Persian. I mean, the significance is lost, so we pronounce it like a normal S. S. Examples would be Soraya, Soraya, which is a name for girls. Max, which is definitely not a name for guys, and it means a short stop, for example, when you're talking and then you stop for a few seconds. That's max. Masane, which means bladder, and Qmars, which is a name for guys. Qmars. It's called Jim, not Jim, Jim, and sounds J, like smudge. Examples would include Jadu, Jadu, which is magic, Koja, which means where. For example, Koja miri, which means where are you going? Stay and watch my video. Panj, Panj, which means 5, and Kaj, Kaj, which is pine tree. It's called Che and sounds Ch, like butcher. Examples, Chera, which is a very common word meaning why, as in Chera narahati, which means why are you sad? Kachal, which is a funny word meaning bald. Peach, not like the fruit, it means screw. And much, not like pretty much, much, which is an informal word for kiss. For example, beza machet konam, which means let me kiss you. He, which sounds like when you exhale. This one is particularly Arabic, but they pronounce it more like a guttural sound, like they go deeper. But we pronounce it, and sorry Arabs if I'm not pronouncing that letter correctly. That significance is lost in Persian. I mean, the guttural feature is lost and we pronounce it like a normal exhalation. Examples, Hamed, Hamed, which is a name for guys. Muhkam, Muhkam, which could mean tight, strong and rough, depending on the context. Sobh, which means morning and is usually shortened to sobh. For example, I would say sobh khair, which means good morning, and the at the end is omitted. So sobh khair, not sobh, but it's sobh. And ruh, ruh, and the Arabic pronunciation would be something like ruh, but we say ruh, which means, depending on the context, ghost, spirit, and soul. And here's a rather challenging one, khe, guttural, which sounds like as if you're choking. It goes deep like this. If you touch this part, you feel something like trembling. I think many foreigners would find it difficult to pronounce, except for Swiss German people, because they have something like Kuchikashli, meaning cupboard. And also Dutch people, they have a lot of this. For example, Goedemorgen, like good morning. And sorry if I'm not pronouncing them correctly. But yes, most non-Iranian people find it difficult to pronounce. And examples would be khak, which means dirt or earth or soil. Tacht, which means bed. Tacht, mich, mich, which means nail. And ach, which means ouch. For example, if I bang my head against the wall or somewhere, I would say ach saram, which means ouch my head. This one is called dal, not like doll. It's dal, dal, and pronounced d, like a normal D. Examples: dar, dar, which means door, as in daru baz kon, which means please open the door. Medad, medad, particularly Arabic, which means pencil. Doost, doost, which means friend. And bad, which means bad, as in halam bade, which means I don't feel well. So there you go, the first 10 letters of the Persian alphabet. Thank you for the view, and if you find my video useful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and also share it, and I'll try to be back soon with the second part of the Persian alphabet. Goodbye!